Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, we've got some lovely breaking news from the Telegraph right now, is that Newcastle have are ready to launch a triple swoop of bids for João Pedro, James Trafford and Anthony Elanga. It has just broke out about 10 minutes ago or something by Luke Edwards on X. We're going to get an article in a minute, but what I want to say on this is about time Newcastle done some business, you know, after being weeks of frustration from the fans. Certainly me, not signing players and seeing other players that we've got on the shortlist go to their teams and talks with them, it's very worrying. So the fact that it looks like we're going in there for the treble, it's fantastic. And what I've read just so far is that them three players want to join Newcastle United. They want to play under Eddie Howe, and obviously they've got Champions League football, Champions League football as well. So why wouldn't you want to join us? So we're going to go straight into the article now and have a little read. It says Newcastle launched treble swoop for João Pedro, James Trafford and Elanga. All three players are understood to be interested as club looks to splash 125 million in preparation for the Champions League. And then it goes on to say Newcastle United have made bids for Brighton forward João Pedro, Burnley goalkeeper James Trafford and Nottingham Forest winger Anthony Elanga. The triple swoop is a hugely ambitious attempt by the club to fill 3 of their 4 positions needs this summer and would represent a remarkable piece of business if they can pull it off. It also goes to say Telegraph Sport understands that all 3 players are interested in the move and would love to play for manager Eddie Howe. With the lure of Champions League football and Tyneside, Newcastle are seen as a club on the rise and the players' wage demands will not be an issue. However, there remains a lot of work to be done before anything is finalised, and there is understandably resistance from the clubs they are under contract with. So basically, that's what it says. That's what it's come out and said. Apparently, we're going to pay 125 million for the 3 players. Apparently, as things stands, there's a gap between the bids made at current valuation of the players, but there's growing momentum behind Newcastle recruitment moves and things could shift dramatically in the coming days. Newcastle are believed to have verbally discussed bids around £50 million for Pedro and are willing to pay around the same for Elanga. Newcastle offer for James Trafford understood to be 25 million. With add-ons, negotiations are set to continue with all 3 targets clubs currently seeking more money for the players. So that's about it really. There's a lot more on there. But that's really the gist of it. If you want to go and have a read the Telegraph, read the rest of it. But Newcastle United are in a treble swoop of players ready for the new campaign in August at the Premier League, you know, Champions League. It's fantastic. You know, that right-hand side, I've said in videos before, it's weak. And now Murphy done really well last season, and I'm buzzing for him. He was class. You know, the assists he had, setting up Isaac and the goals, and some screamers as well. He was amazing. But the fact we sold Miggy, we haven't really got anyone on the right. I know he was switching Barnes on the right when Gomes on the left, but that wasn't working. Both of them fancy the left-hand side. They don't like playing on the right, simple as that. So the right wing's been where we've been struggling for years, and it's about time we got a player like Elanga. For me, he's quick, he can run straight for the players directly, he can torture defenders, and he can set goals up, assist, score goals. Imagine that, Gordon, Isaac and Elanga running at the back line. It's scary. That is pace. That is proper pace. Then you got Tonali, Bruno and Joelinton behind. That is a scary front 6 if that does happen. And as well as Pedro as well. Pedro, who were in 4 years ago, the bid was accepted. It was here we go from Romano. Then all of a sudden it didn't happen because I think we went for Isaac instead. But he's interested as well. He'll be a great player. If Wilson leaves, he could be a quality striker. If we had Isaac, Pedro and Asula, the 3 strikers competing next season, that'll be fantastic. I think Pedro's a really good player as well. Good age, young, Brazilian, class, good on the ball, scores goals, assists. He's got something about him, and that's why we're linking a couple of years back. He's a class player. Now then, moving on to James Trafford. James Trafford, we had there was 25 million. They wanted 40 million for him. Which I don't think we were going to pay, but we'll have to see on that one. Negotiations, I think next week will heat up. I think Newcastle United will really go out and get these players in there because we have to get a bigger squad if we want to compete in the Champions League, because a couple of seasons ago in the Champions League and we got we just weren't good enough in the Premier League. We're exhausted. Our squad was thin, paper thin, and we need to bulk it up in each position. 2 great players in each position, bulk the squad up, also get a better bench. So if you buy new players, you're going to have a much better bench. And instead of bringing on, like, no disrespect, like Sean Longstaff and all the rest of them off the bench who are just not really going to do much, you know what I mean? Wilson, when you could be having people off the bench, like, say we're signing of a defender, like, say Gay, he comes in, you know, Gay bottom at the back, Burn on the bench, Burn to coming off the bench would be outstanding, you know, João Pedro off the bench, Murphy off the bench if Elanga starts not on the right wing next season, if we get him. So that's going to be strength and depth already, and it's going to improve. Lewis Miley will be in there as well, another great young player coming through the ranks and doing fantastic. We've got a few good guns and all, little strikers. That young lad, I think he's called Neve or something like that. He looks decent. So there's a few youngsters in the squad who are going to get a bash at the first team. And yeah, but that's the news coming out so far from the Telegraph, is that Newcastle are ready to do a treble swoop for Elanga, Pedro and Trafford. Let me know what you think in the comment section underneath. What do you think about these players? Would you like them at Newcastle United? Are you excited? I know I am, to get fresh players in, fresh blood, because, you know, we haven't signed a player for 3 transfer windows now, or whatever it is, couple of seasons, because of FFP, PSR's been choking the hell out of the club. And the fact is now that we've got money to spend, because we haven't spent much money, to be honest. The last couple of seasons, we haven't brought a first team player who fits the first 11. So it means that basically we've just been balancing the thing. So our PSR now looks pretty good, you know, because we could also sell some players and all. And yeah, there could be 200 million to spend. It's probably right, you know. So it's fantastic. I cannot wait. And I cannot wait for the future of the club and see what we get, you know what I mean, and see what our start 11 is next season. Because if we have a good window, bring up 4 or 5 players in, I think we're going to be a threat next season as well. It's all about, can we cope with Champions League football and the trophies, the domestic cups, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup and the Premier League as well. Because next season we want top 4 again, it's simple as that. And yeah, we'll have to go from there, but that's about it. I'll wrap it up there. Quick 7-minute video, just breaking news. Newcastle United are in a treble swoop of bids for João Pedro, Anthony Elanga and James Trafford. Like and subscribe, people. Thank you very much for watching. That'd be great. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care and God bless.